The movie commences by depicting Antonio at the wheel of a blue McLaren supercar, navigating through the streets of Los Angeles. It becomes apparent that Antonio is not the owner of the car but rather a valet. Following his work shift, he rides his bicycle past posters featuring the renowned movie star Olivia Allan. During this time, he also comes across Vincent Royce, a billionaire real estate developer, who is engaged in a speech about community development alongside his wife Kathryn. Subsequently, Antonio reaches his son Marco's high school, where he observes Marco engaged in a conversation with a girl. Marco signals to his father not to intervene, and they both return home using Antonio's bicycle. Their residence is situated in a humble 3-story apartment complex. At this point, Mr. Kim, the Korean landlord, makes an appearance. Antonio inquires about recent matters, prompting Mr. Kim to cryptically mention issues with the toilet before quickly departing. Upon entering the apartment, Antonio and Marco are welcomed by Antonio's mother, Cecilia. Antonio raises questions about the problems with the toilet and Mr. Kim's visits. To Antonio's surprise, Cecilia confesses to being romantically involved with Mr. Kim. This revelation catches Antonio off guard. However, Antonio chooses not to delve deeply into the matter, expressing his amazement and hesitation to learn more. Cecilia goes on to explain that their connection goes beyond language barriers, as it is founded on a profound understanding. Despite not sharing a common language, they are able to communicate on a deep level. Antonio is stunned by this disclosure and declines the offer to hear further specifics. Then the story introduces Olivia Allan, an actress who struggles with her lines on a movie set and then discreetly heads to the Royce Hotel to meet Vincent Royce. Dressed as a waitress, Olivia shares a passionate kiss with Vincent in a penthouse suite. Meanwhile, Antonio, who resides in an apartment, learns that he has recently separated from his wife. Encouraged by his sister Clara and brother-in-law Benny, he contemplates pursuing the new music teacher at his sister's school. However, a knock on the door interrupts their conversation as Antonio's wife, Isabel, arrives to pick up their son Marco. As they wait for Marco, Antonio realizes that Isabel is upset about her loan application being denied and her inability to afford her tuition. The conversation takes a turn when Marco reveals that his grandmother, Cecilia, is running out of heart medicine. Antonio grows concerned for her well-being. Back at the Royce Hotel, Olivia and Vincent's secret affair unfolds, with Olivia expressing discomfort due to Vincent's distracted behavior. Vincent attempts to convince her of his love, promising to leave his wife despite her grief over her mother's death. Olivia remains unconvinced, bids farewell, and departs. Vincent follows after her. Simultaneously, Antonio leaves a pharmacy on his bike after collecting his mother's medicine. He inadvertently crashes into Olivia's Uber taxi while distracted by an advertisement for Ronnie, a local realtor whom Isabel is dating. Vincent pays for the taxi damage to avoid paparazzi attention. As the chaos unfolds, the paparazzis capture the moment in photos. The next day, Antonio's damaged bike leads him to a local repair shop owned by Natalie, who expresses concerns about her shop's future due to developments by the Royce family. The story intertwines the lives of these characters through a series of chance encounters and personal struggles. In the unfolding narrative, Olivia's distress over incriminating paparazzi pictures dominates the scene. Fearing the impact on her upcoming film release, she reacts strongly upon seeing the images. The focus then shifts to Vincent's mansion, where his wife Kathryn confronts him about a photo featuring him with another woman. Vincent denies any involvement and attributes the situation to a star-studded event attended by various celebrities, including Olivia and Antonio, who are also in the photograph. Kathryn remains skeptical. Subsequently, Vincent confers with his lawyer, Daniel, who proposes a damage control strategy, having Olivia and Antonio publicly pretend to be a couple. Daniel presents this idea to Antonio, offering him financial compensation for his cooperation. Meanwhile, Kathryn enlists a private investigator named Stagman to learn more about Antonio and questions Olivia's connection to someone who parks cars. Then, Olivia receives a call from Daniel while driving, informing her that Stagman is trailing her on behalf of Mrs. Royce. Meanwhile, Antonio is at work, engaged in discussions with colleagues about a music teacher. Unexpectedly, Olivia arrives, shares a passionate kiss with Antonio in a provocative manner, and they leave the scene together. The incident is captured by Stagman and Kapoor's cameras. Olivia reveals her plan to Antonio, explaining that they will be seen together in public spaces to perpetuate the charade. The narrative explores different characters' reactions. Antonio's colleagues show excitement and envy. Isabel appears confused, Kathryn apologizes to Vincent, and Olivia's pool attendant holds on to improbable hopes. On the night of the film premiere, Antonio and Olivia make their entrance, but their contrasting behaviors draw attention. During the movie, Antonio indulges in snacks while Olivia slouches in her seat. At the after-party, Olivia encounters Vincent and Kathryn. She crafts a fabricated tale about Antonio rescuing her with a flat tire, while Olivia's assistant intervenes to redirect them. In the lounge, Kapoor outwits Stagman by bugging his car. Inside the restroom, Vincent seeks to reassure Olivia about their hidden affair, but her doubts persist. Kathryn confronts Antonio, offering him a substantial sum to go along with the facade. However, Antonio sticks to his principles and rebuffs her offer. As the night continues, Olivia becomes increasingly intoxicated. Antonio offers to call a limo, but she's concerned about potentially embarrassing drunk photos. They discreetly exit through the kitchen and leave the venue. Antonio emerges as a hero in the eyes of his colleagues. Outside, Antonio's friends pick them up, and they enjoy a drive-through meal before reaching Antonio's house. Olivia dozes off quickly, and Antonio spends time with his mother before retiring to his room. The scene concludes with Antonio finding comfort in his mother's support and encouragement. In the morning, Olivia awakens to discover Antonio dozing in an armchair. He reassures her that he has fallen asleep while fully clothed. Following a quick tidy-up, they relish a shared breakfast outdoors, away from the bedroom. However, their morning veers unexpectedly when a group of 19 individuals, comprising friends, family members, and even strangers, spring a surprise on them. These diverse individuals are brimming with enthusiasm to acquaint Olivia and introduce her to their regional culinary delights. Olivia finds herself moved by the genuine warmth exuded by Antonio's expansive and hospitable family. A knock at the door interrupts the gathering. Marco, needing his math book, comes in accompanied by Isabel. Isabel sees Olivia, apologizes, and leaves swiftly. This encounter upsets Antonio, who retreats to his room. Olivia goes to comfort him, as he worries that Isabel's presence has complicated things. Olivia reassures him, but Isabel later contacts Antonio through a field trip form, revealing her jealousy. Back inside the apartment, Marco invites Olivia to his high school Shakespeare play. The family prepares food for her, takes a group photo, and Olivia's assistant arrives to pick her up. Nearby, Stegman confirms Olivia's relationship with Antonio to Kathryn. Kapoor contacts Daniel about Olivia spending the night at Antonio's, leading Vincent to change his stance and hire a detective to follow Olivia. Kapoor hires Stegman for the job. At a party in Vincent's mansion, Olivia, disguised as Counselor Garcia, receives a call from Vincent. Before she can explain, he hangs up. Olivia decides to attend Marco's play and then joins the family for dinner afterward. Claire and Benny inquire about Olivia's feelings for Antonio. She describes him as decent and kind, qualities that are hard to find. During the dancing, Antonio's interaction with Natalie at the bar catches attention. Later, Isabel kisses Antonio and questions the possibility of rekindling their relationship. Antonio reveals that their previous relationship was a pretense, and he turned down a monetary offer from Kathryn. Isabel rushes away, and Benny discusses expanding his business with Antonio. Olivia asks Antonio to walk her to her car, and they decide to lead the detectives on a chase. They take a walk by the waterfront, and Antonio shares that Isabel wants him back. Olivia is pleased by this news. As they stroll through Antonio's neighborhood, Olivia expresses her fondness for the area. Antonio mentions potential real estate developments that could change it. Olivia admits her loneliness and desire not to be alone that night. Antonio agrees, but specifies she'll sleep on the chair. Upon returning to the apartment, they encounter Cecilia smoking and notice two men spying on her. Olivia decides to play a prank by pretending to have sex while the detectives watch. They then have an intimate conversation, during which Olivia reveals her struggle with a seemingly perfect yet lonely life. She doubts Vincent will leave his wife. Antonio offers comfort and gets ready to sleep in his chair, but Olivia asks him to stay. Subsequently, a significant twist occurs in Antonio's life journey. The day following a sincere dialogue with Isabel at a local cafe, Antonio is confronted with the harsh reality that their marital relationship has reached its conclusion. Isabel's acknowledgement of her lingering regret about a foregone chance for affluence lays the foundation for the gradual deterioration of their bond. This critical juncture stimulates Antonio to directly face the profound feelings of inadequacy that have covertly steered his path until now. Simultaneously, due to Vincent's manipulative plot, Daniel accidentally stumbles upon proof of Antonio's connection with Olivia, triggering a sequence of confrontations and emotional distress. When Antonio comes back home following this revelation, it is characterized by an eruption of emotions, wherein Olivia's genuine concern is met with misdirected anger. This clash further underscores Antonio's inner turmoil and his incapacity to recognize his self-worth beyond external circumstances. The situation deteriorates as Vincent directly confronts Antonio, launching both verbal and physical attacks rooted in his perceived sense of betrayal. This brutal clash exacts a heavy toll on Antonio, not only shattering his emotional equilibrium but also leaving him without a mode of transportation. Subsequent scenes portray a fractured Antonio navigating his daily life, commuting to work in a state of utter despondency. The facade Antonio had meticulously maintained within his workplace crumbles when he openly admits to his colleagues that the supposed relationship with Olivia was a fabrication. This instance of candid revelation, spurred by a conversation with Daniel, propels Antonio to reconsider his decisions. The choice he ultimately embraces by accepting an unforeseen financial proposition mirrors Isabel's prior assertion that he is deserving of more. Cecilia's abrupt collapse fractures Antonio's delicate stability. The subsequent sorrow is tangible as he unites with Mr. Kim and Benny to bear her casket, a poignant homage to a woman who had deeply impacted his life. Antonio's tribute during the memorial service mirrors his growing recognition of love's potency and the significance of acknowledging the remarkable within the seemingly mundane. Stegman's quest for a purposeful connection and Kapoor's unforeseen entanglement culminate in a tragic shift of events. The fleeting moments of joy they briefly encounter are overshadowed by Cecilia's loss, underscoring the frailty of existence and the unforeseeable turns it can undertake. Over the passage of time, Antonio's life embarks on a gradual ascent. The unassuming moments exchanged with his friends and family stand in stark contrast to Vincent's descent into a downward spiral. This decline becomes evident as Vincent's hold on power weakens and the repercussions of his actions catch up with him. Vincent's endeavors to salvage his relationships, especially his connection with Olivia, unravel in a public confrontation, serving as the zenith of his downfall. Antonio's face-off with Vincent brings a gratifying resolution to his tribulations. The symbolic gesture of delivering divorce papers and reclaiming his autonomy epitomizes Antonio's newfound self-confidence. The solidarity between Olivia and Kathryn as they unite against Vincent's manipulations reinforces the recurring theme of empowerment and the ultimate triumph of justice over deceit. In the closing scenes, Antonio's life comes full circle as he reconnects with Natalie and embraces the potential for love. The juxtaposition of his lunch with Olivia and the playful pickle fight serves as a lighthearted contrast to the profound changes that Antonio has undergone. The visual of the story zooming out from this scene underscores the interconnectedness of the characters' journeys and the broader tapestry of life. In conclusion, the narrative journey of Antonio encompasses themes of self-discovery, the search for authenticity, and the redemptive power of human connection. Through a series of pivotal moments, Antonio transforms from a man burdened by insecurities to someone who reclaims his worth and learns to appreciate the simple joys in life. The interplay of characters and their individual arcs creates a multi-layered narrative that highlights the complexities of human emotions, relationships, and personal growth.